Yo, what's up guys? Today we are back with my team building video for the Long Island RegiRockies, head coached by Nips. I of course am pokeaimMD, coach of the Bronx Beartics. Now, as per usual with the team that I've built with my buddy Jamvad, I've made it so that whatever combination of 6 he brings, I can take on. So even if he brings Manectric, Durant, Delphox, Frogadier, Persian, Tentacruel, Mamoswine, what was that, 6 or 7? I don't even know. It's like 3 AM when I'm recording this. I can take him on, or if he brings Haunter, Tornadus, Mamoswine, Persian, Breloom, Bronzong, I can take him on. That's usually my goal, to be able to take on any combination of 6 he has, because I don't want to prepare for 11 out of 12 of his Pokemon. Let's say I'm really prepped for all of these Pokemon, but I have nothing for Haunter, and he brings Haunter and just blows me back with that. That's my fault completely. Now, if you can see the team right here, sorry if you guys hear my chair creak, I'm not bringing any of my OU-mons this week. Big Bird, Beartics, and Zeph are staying at home. My Weavile, my Tornadus T, and my Manaphy are staying at home. Now the reason for that is he has a lot of threats. Mega Manectric, for example, beats every single one of those Pokemon. Breloom could be a threat for my Weavile. Tentacruel can stop my Manaphy depending on what set it is, and he likes to run max special defense Mirror Coat. And also like Delphox, of course Delphox is stopped by probably Manaphy plus Tornadus, but I just really didn't want to bring that combination this week because I felt like he would really prepare for those. Like I was really fearing like Scarf Delphox, Durant, Breloom, Mega Manectric in general just really held me back from bringing those. So this week we're starting off the team with my boy Hard Body. I am Hard Body, you are just Reuniclus. Well, actually in this case I am Reuniclus, or this is Reuniclus, and this thing puts in work every single week. Now the set I'm bringing this week is Trick Room, Recover, Shadow Ball, and Psychic. This is not my spread, it should have more. Alright, that's the spread. Now the reason is that Trick Room Reuniclus actually bodies his entire team. Shadow Ball knocks out Durant after like Stealth Rock damage. Shadow Ball, Psychic, Shadow Ball. And I actually have Recover because this allows me to come in on Bronzong and basically not only Trick Room up, but also just recover up for free versus Bronzong. This Reuniclus puts in a lot of work versus my opponent's team. And I actually originally had HP Ice over Recover just in case Gliscor could be an issue, because I wanted to be able to one-shot Gliscor, but after building the rest of the team, decided against it. Now Hard Body, I decided that because he only has really one way of getting rid of hazards, which would be his Tentacruel. Tentacruel is his only defogger on his team, if I am not mistaken. I decided that I would bring hazards this game. Now, this isn't your typical hazard lead, a Selgor. It's not the Spike's Final Gambit set. I actually gave it HP Ice over Final Gambit just because Gliscor could be an issue and I wanted to be able to 2-KO with that. But at the same time, my game plan would be to get up Spikes and go for Final Gambit. Well, it is Final Gambit. It's not Encore. Sorry. Excuse me. Sorry. It doesn't have Encore. It has Final Gambit. My game plan would be to get up Spikes. If he brings Tentacruel and goes out into it, I'll Final Gambit it. And even if I've already taken damage and my sash is broken, I would be able to trap him after that with my Dugtrio. And I know you saw that Dugtrio set for a second. I know it looks pretty crispy. It's pretty crazy, but you know, I'll explain it after this. But basically, I wanted a Selgor to set up Spikes. Spikes ensure that I can knock out Delphox with Shadow Ball. I can knock out Durant with Shadow Ball. It also threatens his Manectric, which can't Volt Switch for free. Threatens Breloom, breaks any potential sashes on Breloom and Mamoswine. Mamoswine actually being one of the biggest threats to my team. Of course, I have one of the most powerful Ice types in the entire league, and he is the other most powerful Ice type. He has basically the slower Mamoswine the slower Weavile in my opinion, which is Mamoswine. Of course, none of us have anything for a well-played Beartic, but speaking of which, if you guys want to pick up the Bronx Beartic shirt, the link is down below in the description. Now anyway, like I said, my plan was to get up Spikes and Final Gambit his Tentacruel, so of course I brought my Jamvaz. Now this isn't any variant of my Jamvaz. I know you see that HP Fire, and you're thinking, what the hell, Joey? Well, I did some calcing. I honestly only need Stone Edge and Earthquake versus his entire team. Earthquake, Stone Edge for Tornadus, Earthquake, and Earthquake for these. I gave it enough speed that way I can outspeed his Persian if he did decide to bring that. almost max attack, and I actually give it 40 special attack investment with a hasty nature and a life orb. Now, I know that sounds really ridiculously crazy, but this Oko's Durant with HP Fire from full 100%, and Durant is actually a threat to my team if you can't see what I brought. If he brings a Choice Bandit Durant, it can basically get a kill, but I'll be able to pick it off with Dugtrio after. If it's Choice Scarf, it's easier, more easily dealt with because Amoonguss can just eat up a hit and put it to sleep with Spore. But yeah, this was basically there to be able to trap his Tentacle, because what I would do is get up Spike, Spinal Gambit on the Tentacle, trap it, do the Arena Trap, and knock it out with a Life of Earthquake. Life of Earthquake doing a hell of a lot to Tentacle. Still, HP Fire already explained, and Memento would just be easier for my Reuniclus to potentially set up a Trick Room, or even just Dugtrio. It depends on really what he brings. Dugtrio is only there to trap Tentacle. Besides that, Dugtrio does not do too much, though it can trap Manectric before it Mega Evolves. But Memento is just nice because it gives me setup opportunity with my Reuniclus, as well as just an opportunity to live hits from certain members on his team. The next member of my team, and this is my Mamoswine counter, it is my Horsepower, my Cobalion. It is on an air balloon with Magnet Rise, seeing as how the majority of my team does not appreciate Mamoswine at all, and I really felt that he would over-prepare, or he would prepare really well for my Manaphy. I didn't really want to bring defensive Manaphy just because I honestly expect something like a really speedy Loom, or a Scarf Loom even, or something like that. Like Scarf Loom actually does pretty well versus my team. And again, that Mamoswine is an issue. My ground types, my immunity for ground is weak to ice. Rhydon doesn't appreciate a hit. Even a physically defensive Manaphy can be 2-hit KO'd after Stealth Rock from an Adamant Life or Mamoswine. So I wanted to bring this Air Balloon Cobalion. I gave it Magnet Rise, that way I can repeatedly switch into Mamoswine. The good thing about my team is he doesn't really have a reason to not go for Earthquake. My entire team is grounded, so he can easily kick Earthquake, so I can bring in Cobalion. Also wanted Stealth Rock. I gave it enough speed for Delphox. Not that it necessarily matters, but I felt like I wouldn't need max speed anyway, because max speed does not outspeed Tornadus or max speed does not outspeed Tornadus or Durant, so there was no real point in max speed, or Persian, the Pokemon that could all outspeed me. So there's no point in max speed, so it gives me a bit of bulk and just enough attack, that way I can knock out Mamoswine after a Spike. I 100% knock out Mamoswine after a Spike, or after Stealth Rock. I 100% knock it out with close combat Mamoswine. This being my Mamoswine check. Definitely wanted to bring this. Now, of course, this week I'm more so about checking his Pokemon and trying to win with my Reuniclus, or even walling his Pokemon, because this week he has a really threatening team to me. That Mamoswine in general is just really threatening. It's holding back a lot of my members, which is why I'm not bringing certain members like Tornadus or even Fabio in this game. Now, I'm actually bringing my Audino this time. We got a little Blunder over here, making its first appearance. Now, I felt the need to, I really had to bring Blunder. I felt the need to, because my opponent does have Delphox and Mega Manectric. As you can tell by what I have no fire resistance. Now, the reason is I would be so limited. My fire resistance would be limited to my Manaphy or my Mega Ampharos, both of which do not appreciate Mega Manectric. Well, the former not appreciating Mega Manectric, and the latter not appreciating Mamoswine, which are two Pokemon I'm 100% sure he's bringing versus my team. So I wanted to bring a special defensive Wish Protect knockoff Toxic Audino. This would help me out versus Delphox. If he was Specs, I can switch it on the Specs Fire Blast Protect and live the next one. Knockoff doing about 60% to it. I have Toxic to wear down Manectric as well as Mamoswine. I felt that there was no need for Flamethrower over Knockoff, as Knockoff helps me if just in case he's Subcombined Delphox, I can knock it off. It also helps me versus Haunter. It helps me take on Persian. Even Frogadier, knocking off its Life Orb and then hitting it with a Toxic if he wants to bring that. Because even though it's an NU Pokemon, or I guess PU, whatever, same thing, it's still just beneficial. It's still a threat as well. It's only what, like 10, 15 special attack lower than Greninja, something like that, maybe 20 at the most. So it still hits kind of hard, and it definitely hits my team hard, especially because of Protean giving everything stabs. So we're bringing Blunder this week. It walls his Mega Manectric. I didn't want to bring Rhydon or Claydol. Mainly Rhydon as a Mega Manectric, because I'm pretty sure not only could he probably has HP Ice, but he could very well bring HP Grass, as it would easily smack my Rhydon for over 70%, maybe over 80%, depending on what I brought. I could bring Special Defensive, but who knows. But that's why I brought Audino. And now my last Pokemon was a toss-up. It was either going to be Fabio or 83%, which is my Amoonguss. Now, I actually decided on Amoonguss because Amoonguss helps me take on Breloom 100%. It's also physically defensive, so I can live a hit from Mamoswine, smack away Giga Drain. It spores his entire team bar Breloom, And I also wanted to bring HP Ice and Clear Smog just in case he wanted to bring an SD Gliscor. I can Clear Smog it, I can beat it with HP Ices plus Giga Drains on the Roost. And yeah, Amoonguss was honestly just, I felt the better play. It gives me a Spore immunity, though I am kind of scared of an SD Braylon with Landslot Berry. That could definitely be a threat to my team, but I am taking that into account as I play. And Amoonguss also walled Persian. It can Spore Tentacle. It also absorbs T-Spikes, which could be annoying, at least for my Audino as well as my Jambats. The rest don't really care about it. This is my lead, a Salgor. And you know, obviously a Steel type and this having Magic Guard, but it absorbs T-Spikes. It gets off a nice Spore versus his team. It's so defensive that it can eat hits from Mamoswine. It can even eat up an Overheat from Mega Manectric, as well as being a nice Bronzong switch-in, though also a hard body. Just takes on Bronzong in general, so I can easily pivot into that. And it also gives me a nice check to his Durant in Spore. Obviously, if it's a sub Durant, it could be an issue, but as long as I break that sub, I'd be able to trap it and knock it out with HP Fire. So obviously, this is a very short team video, but I felt that this was all very straightforward on what they did. Magnum Rise just allows me, after my Air Balloon, to take on the Mamoswine just in case it is popped. Superpower, I don't know if he'll bring that just because I haven't brought Audino anytime, and Superpower only hits Audino, honestly. The rest is fine. Like Weavile, it's going to get knocked out by an Earthquake anyway. So, yeah, I didn't bring my OU Mons this time. Some of you might think that's crazy, but he just has so many Mons, and I feel like he's really going to over-prep for Manaphy, for Torrentee, for Weavile. So I really didn't want to bring them, and I really wanted to go for either the Reuniclus sweep and just also have this defensive backbone, because if you guys haven't noticed, in this league, I very much like to bring offensive threats, but I also love to have a defensive backbone just to fall back on, because I like to play safe. Yes, when I need to. If I can get a safe win, I will play safe. If I need to make plays to win, I will. But with this I'm not going to be, you know, rushed to Trick Room up with my Reuniclus and sweep his team, which I very much can do. But yeah, having these special defensive and this physical defensive monsters right here, Blunder and 83%, I'm definitely going to be doing. I'm definitely going to check the majority of his team with that. So that's going to be it, guys. Stay tuned tomorrow for the battle. It's actually going up at 12 p.m. Eastern. Right after my 24-hour stream ends. I should be in the middle of my 24, or actually I should only be about 2 to 3 to 4 hours maybe in on my 24-hour stream. So you guys can go, you know, check that out. My streaming link is in the description. Leave a like if you guys enjoyed. Feel free to subscribe to the my channel. I was about to say to the Bronx Beartics, but feel free to subscribe. There's also a playlist down below in the description that says every single thing about the Bronx Beartics and all my videos that I've uploaded. So, of course, good luck, Nips, and yeah, guys, I'll see you later.